What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking 5 fantasy football names that are ranked way too low right now heading into the 2025 fantasy football season. So make sure to tune in. If you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe. Give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPixin to continue acting with us there. Let us hear in the comments. Agree, disagree. What other names would you put on this list and why? But with that being said, let's kick it off. And as you can tell, we have got the 2025 consensus full PPR rankings here per Fantasy Pros. And let's just dive right into it. This is the overall rankings. And I'm going to point out a few names, running backs, wide receivers. We're not just keeping it to one position that I think right now, early June, are ranked way too damn low. We're going to look at why. We're going to look at their upside. And we're going to talk where they should be drafted, right? So let's just kick it off here. I'm not going to be looking at first round selections. I'm going to go down a little bit further to the 16th overall ranked player, Achane of the Miami Dolphins. When we're talking full PPR, folks, I think Achane, like, as long as Tua, right, is healthy, Achane is an absolute stud. Like, he showed it last year when Tua was there. He was a PPR machine. Yes, he's ranked as the running back 5. But he still ranks as the 16th overall player, and I do see him go pretty consistently outside of the first round. Now, again, this is due to a combination of things. More so than anything, it's just that there is a premium on the wide receiver position. So as you can see, there's 10 wide receivers listed before we get to the 5th overall running back. So right now, it's a point of the position not getting enough love, in my opinion, with the running back position. But like, I look at Achane, and to me, like, he has the same upside as a Genti. He has the same upside as, if we're talking a Jahmyr Gibbs, a PPR potential stud. Like, he has that upside. Gibbs ranked right now as the running back 2 for full PPR scoring. Now, again, I kind of mentioned one of the reasons why Achane is ranked so much lower than maybe you might expect. It's because the wide receiver position is being bumped up in the early part of the draft. It's also because Tua, people don't trust his injury history, and we have seen what this offense in general looks like without Tua to operate it, and basically everyone is then like a sit for fantasy football purposes and loses massive appeal. So that's another thing. People are doubting that the efficiency is going to be there. And that's something I said last year. And I still think that you have to obviously, realize that. Like, we're not going to be seeing 80-yard rushing touchdowns or like a 50-yard catch and run to the end zone from Achane every single week like we've seen the big plays the first 2 years. But the further and further we go, the more experienced Achane becomes, the wider that backfield becomes as far as opportunities. That's what excites me personally. And in terms of full PPR potential, like, Achane is a really strong upside guy, and the fact that he can catch the ball somewhat cushions like his floor as well. So I think the fact that he's ranked 16th overall is nuts. Like, that would be an almost mid-second round selection. I really believe he belongs in that first round. Now, selfishly, right, if we're in August and September and he's still a second round selection, I'm going to be smashing that draft button all day, every day. But don't be shocked if he is a first round bona fide pick a couple months from now, right? Let's continue to move on here, and, probably going to get a lot of groans with this next name, but it is Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers. And you don't really have to say too much as to why he's ranked lower. It's because, McCaffrey has burned you, the last 3-4 years more often than not. Last year, he was the consensus number 1 running back, missed the entire year, right? With his injury issues that unfortunately weren't really shared to us until the start of the season. But the expectation is that he's going to be ready to play and that he's going to be available without any restrictions. So, whenever McCaffrey is available, upside wise, he has the upside of the number one overall running back in fantasy football, right? Like, when is the last time where McCaffrey played the majority of the season and he didn't finish as a top 5 running back? Now, the biggest thing again with McCaffrey, it's risk versus reward. This is the only reason why McCaffrey is ranked this low, almost outside of the top 20 running overall players, not running backs. But I have to mention McCaffrey. If you're a person that likes to take a risk and, has the stomach for it, then McCaffrey is going to be your guy. Like McCaffrey, you're going to draft him every single time in the second round. Like you're probably going to, obviously going to need to have to handcuff him with the running mate in San Francisco and Garunde. But other than that, McCaffrey is an absolute steal. And he's going to continue to be a focal point of this San Francisco offense. So, again, just make sure you are deep at that position if you do select McCaffrey. But other than that, I think, again, if he plays the full season, he is going to be one of the steals of the fantasy football draft period. And he's going to end up being a top 3 running back. Just take that to the house. Let's continue to move on here with the number 3 name on our list. And here we get to our first wide receiver. That is Marvin Harrison of the Arizona Cardinals, coming in at number 43, wide receiver 21 overall. And goddamn, is recency bias a real thing? Because, folks, let me remind you, what were we doing with Marvin Harrison? Well, I should say, not we, you. What was the public doing with Marvin Harrison last year this time? They were selecting him at the end of the first round. And what did we say here on this channel? We said, guys, I get it. Marvin Harrison, he was the first overall wide receiver drafted, but Malik Neighbors, bang for your buck, as far as ADPs, as far as all that, as far as potential, he is the much better value. That's what ended up happening. Now people are punishing Marvin Harrison Jr. for that a year later, and the discrepancy is absolutely huge. You can get him in the 4th round, depending on the size of your league. I do think that gap will narrow a little bit, right? But guys, Marvin Harrison is still the guy that was drafted as the number 1 overall wide receiver last year. Yes, did he struggle last year? Did he disappear? Yes. But did he also show why he was that highly touted wide receiver? Hell yeah. Like, he broke out several times. And I think another year is in the pros. Like, that's only going to help him. I love Trey McBride here for Arizona, but like, you still need an alpha wide receiver on the squad. Marvin Harrison is that. You are getting him at a discount because he burned so many people last year, and that's the reason. That is the simple reason. Like, sometimes it's as simple as recency bias. The guy didn't play up to the expectations because the expectations were way too damn high. Like, he still didn't have a horrible year, but it wasn't anywhere close to being drafted in the first round. So that's why Marvin Harrison right now has dipped a bunch, but I am absolutely buying that stock, and I think we're going to see a season much more similar to that of Malik Neighbors out of Marvin Harrison this year. Now let's continue to move on here. I'm going to go with DK Metcalf, 52nd overall player here, wide receiver 26. I think Metcalf is a really, really interesting wide receiver. Like, right now, what's the main reason why he's ranked so low? Well, it's because Mason Rudolph is the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if that continues to be the case, then yeah, I'm not touching any of these wide receivers. But, right now the expectation is, it might not be in June, it might not be in July, but the expectation is the Steelers will add a veteran quarterback, and that will either be Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins. So with that being the case, I think that both those guys, even though they are not in their prime anymore, can still maintain a wide receiver 1 for fantasy football purposes. Like, Aaron Rodgers was doing it with Garrett Wilson last year prior to Davante Adams getting there. And like, when Davante Adams got there, he was sustaining him. Kirk Cousins was, doing it with Drake London. And now with Kirk Cousins, being another year removed from his injury, that's only going to help things. But again, the biggest reason why Metcalf is ranked so low is because those guys haven't been added by the Pittsburgh Steelers yet. Once they do, I think the ADP is going to shoot up easily by a round for DK Metcalf. I think he's going to be like closer to the Terry McLaurins, to the DJ Moores of the world. Because, right, also George Pickens is gone. Like, Metcalf is the guy in Pittsburgh. He's the unquestioned number one guy. I think he's going to get all the opportunities. Like, he didn't even have that role in Seattle. Like, there was always Tyler Lockett there. Jackson Smith and Jigba breaking out as well. So, he's going to be the alpha in Pittsburgh. So, I think Metcalf can be an absolute steal. And right now is just simply ranked way too low because the Steelers are taking their time with the decision at quarterback. And then finally, let us scroll down a little bit further to our first rookie player. That is RJ Harvey of the Denver Broncos. Comes in number 79, running back 27. And boy, oh boy, again, if you guys follow me in the mock drafts, if you look at those, you know how much I absolutely love RJ Harvey. I think he should be the number 2 rookie running back behind Ashton Genty. And again, why is he ranked so low? I think, I think Denver, not necessarily a sexy destination. He didn't have that huge draft capital like a Genty or like super early second round, but you can find steals at the running back position in the later rounds. Hell, his current head coach in Sean Payton did that with Alvin Kamara in New Orleans. There is no other competition in Denver. Denver is a really good landing spot for whatever running back ended up being there. Like, they're a team that's ready to compete. They are very, very solid from top to bottom. Not a lot of gaps offensively. As long as Bo Nix continues to play like he did year one, this offense should be in a good spot. They've got a really good defense. Sean Payton wants to utilize his running backs. He's going to have a lot of opportunities. You don't want to put too much on the plate of Bo Nix. I think that's one of the reasons why he was so successful year one. So the running attack is going to be featured. You've got a decent offensive line. I think RJ Harvey right now, the fact that you can get him like in the 5th, 6th round is an absolute steal. I think there's zero reason why he should be, drafted behind O'Marion Hampton. Like, for example, another rookie rusher. Like, sure, he had earlier draft capital in the NFL draft associated with him, but like Najee Harris, a proven veteran, is there that the Chargers went out to sign in free agency specifically. So, maybe if it was a year later, like in 2026, it'd be a different story. But right now, Genty and after Genty, I think it's RJ Harvey have the 2 easiest paths to like big time bulk opportunities right out of the gate. Not too much competition on good squads, balanced offenses. Not going to be too many blowouts. So they shouldn't be abandoning the run. So with that being said, I think RJ Harvey is absolutely a guy that is ranked way too low right now, but you're going to see his ADP go up. But with that, we wrap up this breakdown of the 5 names you need to know at this point in time that are ranked way too low and why. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe. You also follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Let us hear it in the comments if you agreed, disagreed. And as always, we'll do our best to answer any questions you guys might have. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future